Hi there everyone, welcome back to the Monday Club here with me, Jenny Kirk. It's really great to see you. I hope I find you well. And today, well, we're going to catch up where we weren't able to do last week, and that was showing videos of you, videos of you.
Videos of you? No.
The videos of blah, 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 blah. Oh no, my word, my mouth just got encrypted. But no, your videos of your model trains. So we're going to be doing that. It's going to be a bumper virtual model railway exhibition. We're going to fit that in for the last half an hour of the show. But until then, it's all running trains everywhere as the covered monkey messes about with
It looks an awful lot like the top of your video was not in the right place. But it turns out it's not.
Oh no, there's a box. You've made it smaller. I've run out of headroom. But it's great to see you guys. So what's new in the world of model railways? Well, I guess that some of the biggest things are going to be the Hatton's Genesis coaches. Apparently something just went wrong. Come on, turn the sound down. So the Hatton's...
audio is very shrill with a lot of background noise.
Interesting. Hold on. I don't hear it. So sorry about that, but I don't hear it our end, and I'm getting this through the Tintatron. So as the cupboard monkey messes about with the technical stuff, basically the Project Genesis coaches, I can't believe how quickly these coaches are coming through. It's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things that they were announced, but we're seeing the livery samples coming through thick and fast. Hattons have been posting those up, I've been sharing those to the Facebook page an awful lot. But the actual livery samples, I believe, are at Hattons, so they will hopefully be releasing some pictures of those in due course. And I'm so excited to see these, and I'm guessing like so many people, I shudder to think how much money they're going to have off me. It's like, oh my god, here's the deeds to my house, take them, just give me the good stuff.
Thank you! Oh, excuse me, I am so sorry.
Bless you, my child.
I had a worry today that I was going to end up sneezing on the live stream, and I tried not to. My goodness, that's going to have maxed out the sound.
Yeah, so we do apologise for the cupboard monkey's echoing a sneeze there. Russell Benton says that poor wee Peckett is going like the clappers. There's a Peckett B2, but there's also an Andrew Barkley going round. In fact, actually, I think there's only one camera angle where you see them.
I am so sorry, guys.
Yeah, so I do apologise for the weird noises the cupboard monkey's making. But today, right, what have we got going on? Well, we've got, you'll see the Garrett going round.
Apparently the audio is noisy and vibrating. Is it because you've got so many trains going?
Well, hold on a moment. Right, what we will do, let's just stop the trains, and then we can work out if that is actually the reason. Does that change the sound level? Because now we've stopped all the trains.
I know what it is.
What?
Move the fan from under the microphone.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to keep the cupboard monkey cool, so there's a fan here, and it's directly...
No, you'll have to put it back over to your side.
It's actually vibrating through... When are you going to... You got me the extra cable. When are you going to get me the thing that stops the microphone picking up all of the weird noises and vibrations?
Yeah. I totally didn't forget, honest.
Yeah, so, has that improved things? Does that sound right now? Cupboard Monkey, are you monitoring the comments?
I am monitoring the comments. Oh my goodness. For those of you who still have sound after my atomic sneeze, which I do apologise for.
Yeah, Southern Train Girl says, ouch, my eardrums. Yeah, I do apologise. I have to live in the same house as this.
Right, that sounds perfectly fine.
Everybody's saying it's better now. Right, so a big hello to everybody.
I think it's the number of trains you were running.
No, well, I'll start them back
I think
up.
you should just have the one gronk.
No.
Gronk, 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 gronk.
No gronks, no gronks, no gronks.
What's moving?
Excuse me. It's alright, just... Give me a chance. Give me a chance. We'll get there in the end.
We need some gronks.
Some Gronk on Gronk action.
Timberserv says the mic must be connected to the... It's not. It's not connected to the layout. It is very close to it, though.
Yeah, so I've started up all the trains again. So if people would just let me know if that has done something weird with the sound. I'm going to slow down the Andrew Barkley a bit because it is going like the clappers there. Right. So as you can see, actually on your screens right now, that Garrett is doing what it does best with a full rake of all of my Big Four railway company wagons. So that's LNER, LMS, Great Western and Southern. Actually, I've just realised there's a load of pre-grouping as well. I'm seeing South Eastern and Chatham, Great Central, Cheshire Lines,
yeah, the sound
North British, London and South Western Railway. So actually, there's a few others in there. But actually, that's prototypically correct. I was thinking about this the other day. Somebody was asking about how long regional railways liveries actually persisted. And I can remember back in the day when privatisation...
I know. Twice as long as half the time they persisted.
Stop it. So basically, I can remember going to Bolton Trinity Street Station probably about 1999, and Class 142s were still in regional railway livery, but where it used to say regional railways, they'd stuck a piece of vinyl over that said First North Western, from what I remember. And I can remember at the time thinking, I can still read regional railways through that. You could see the outline of the letters. And certainly freight rolling stock could probably persist for quite some time with the previous railway company's identity on it.
We've got a question here from Aldendale Junction, which I think you'll enjoy.
Yeah.
What's your favourite pre-grouping railway?
Oh my word. I'm probably actually torn between several. I've got a local loyalty to the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. The old
That surprises me.
But I love the Great Central Railway. But I'm also a big fan of South Eastern and Chatham Railway, London and South Western Railway, and London, Brighton and South Coast Railway. And we're getting a lot of things coming through with those particular liveries. Now, one of the locomotives that we've been spoilt rotten over this year with is the ex-London, Brighton and South Coast Railway Terrier. Now, we've had the Hornby one, but the other bit of news as well is that Rails of Sheffield are starting now to get deliveries through of the next locomotives in the Terrier that they're doing. Now, I'm really actually looking forward to this because I currently have being sent to me one of the sound fitted examples, and I think this is the area where the Rails Terrier really stands head and shoulders above the competition, because if you try and fit sound into a Hornby Terrier, it is so tight on space. You have to get incredibly creative, and you're very limited in terms of what sound chip and speakers you can add into that locomotive. But the Rails Dapol Terrier has been designed to take sound, so it's got the speakers actually pre-fitted in there. And I'm really intrigued to see what that sounds like, because even the non-DCC fitted ones come pre-fitted with the speaker. It's already in there, and it looks a lot like the little iPhone speakers that you can buy separately for fitting sound and stuff. Now, I can hear something has derailed.
Oh yeah, this one, yeah. Whoa.
So,
I think your double-ended train thing is going to need some work.
It's going to need a bit of love over there. So,
are you going to squeeze past?
Well, I'm going to show people where it's ended up. You can just about see the...
We've had an incident.
There has been an incident. To be honest with you, I'm not playing Chase the Train at the moment, and as that one hardly appears, I'm just going to leave it for the time being.
Oh no.
Oh no. So I will retrieve it at some point. Actually, I wonder if... Can I reverse the direction? Oh, no, apparently I can only get the locomotive back, so...
Do you want me to just grab them?
Yeah, why don't you grab them?
See, this is why she has me here.
Yeah, the cupboard monkey is very useful for that. We've got
I'm her gopher.
Don't forget to tickle the like button. Also share the stream as well. It's always great to know that sharing is caring. Let other people know on all manner of social media.
Change the
camera angle. Okay then.
couldn't remember how to do it.
Could you not? You set it up.
I know.
But certainly, sharing is caring. Let everybody know on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I don't know, Conkbox.
You made up Conkbox.
Box face tube stuff. You can find.
I made up Conkbox. It was in a comment.
Yes, you did actually. I've lost my train of thought here, which is ironic. Ironic, given I've also lost a train of NCB coal wagons. Now the NCB B2 is being a little bit naughty at the moment. We've got some troublesome trucks and a troublesome locomotive. So what I'm going to do...
That sounds like the perfect plot for... Oh, everyone's asking about the pizza. It was delicious, thank you.
Yes,
and thank you so much for all the likes that we got.
Yeah, I know somebody actually said, let me know next week and I'll buy you a pizza and have it sent to your address. No. But also, I also forgot to say at the beginning, a big thank you to George Botterini. Really, really grateful donating $10 on the super chat. So thank you ever so much. And you're always amazingly generous every single week. I'm just going to put the little B2, which is there. Lovely locomotive, but really not behaving itself particularly at the moment. Just going to put that up there, and then I'm going to see if I can get this train up and running again. Oh, no, other way. It might skid a little bit. Right, anyway, that's running now.
Goodness.
Right, let's have a look. Where were we up to? So we've got J94, Somerset Andy, big hello to you. Just a puggle with internet access, aka Harrison. That's a bit of a mouthful. Growler Blackwood Engage layout. Evening to you. Great to see you. Ben Tullett. I might be buying the Dapole Terrier in the Brighton livery. I'm really looking forward to that as well. Now, those of you in the know, been watching my videos, will know that I did review the Hornby Brighton Terrier, which is the terrier with the name Brighton on, in the London Brighton and South Coast Railway Ochre livery, also known as improved engine green. It's not green. I actually really quite liked it. One of the problems though with the A1 class terrier from Hornby, it has, and I to be perfectly honest, I didn't quite notice it when I reviewed Brighton, but when I filmed a review with the Brighton Works Terrier, which is actually an A1X, really impressed with the detail differences that are being tooled up to give both different types of terriers. But then when I compared it to Leadenhall, which is not a terrier I've reviewed, but it's ostensibly the same livery as Brighton, it has what I refer to as the bullet holes in the cab front. And these are the little holes where it's one moulding for both the A1 and the A1X Terrier, and it has little holes where pipes would go in if it was an A1X. And the ochre livery makes it look like somebody's been taking pot shots with a Lee Enfield rifle at the front face of that cab. I'm really interested to see how the Rails Dapole Terrier looks in its A1 form. I bought one as an A1X in the BR black livery with the lake crest. Really pleased with it. It's just going to struggle, I think, a bit. I'm going to take a few of these wagons off.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, thank you for your comments, Zach. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing fine. Timbersurf says...
Big hello to Timbersurf. How are you doing?
I can't pronounce it in Welsh. I'm terrible at Welsh, but I have translated. He says, anyone else from Wales, we need to replace the Irish and the Dutch.
What?
I'm assuming he means in the chat, not as in physically get them out of the country, because that would be a bit nasty. But anyone else from Wales? Well, you kind of are, aren't you? You grew up, where was it? Ystrad Life?
Whoa!
I only do it to annoy you.
Ystrad Life, which is near Glanreed, in the Swansea Valley. Near Inniskedwin, Lower Cumtoch, Upper Cumtoch, that kind of area. One valley over from Kevin Coyd Colliery, and also the Onthwyn coal washery, which is still there. The line used to go further, in two directions actually. I do remember it going beyond Onthwyn to the old Opencast site. That's gone. But it did also go to, I think it's Colburn Junction and on through Craiganoss and Daniel Ogoff up towards, I think it's Merthyr Tydfil that line went. But certainly, yeah, I've spent a lot of time in that area. It's where my mother's from that area, my grandparents on my mother's side, obviously from that area. So yeah, what else we got? James Pets says send in the breakdown train. What you found there?
James Pets also says Jennifer's Welsh pronunciation is much better than Zoe's Welsh pronunciation. Yeah, I can do Klingon. I can't do Welsh.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Oh, do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Which translates from Klingon as "Where is a good restaurant?"
Oh, right. Yes. Gary Lewis, hi to you, says, I think the Rail Accident Investigation Board need to be called in to investigate the incident on the high-level line. Shh, shh. Nobody saw anything. It's grand. It buffed straight out with teacup.
Jen, it was on camera.
I know. Shh. Brian Mozza, big hello to you. Born Yorkshire, now in Neath. Oh, but, Wales, actually. I do love Wales. I must go back there. Sadly, very little of my family remains in Wales. Either passed away or moved to elsewhere in the UK. But, I went to school for a period of time in...
Tim's found the TARDIS.
Oh, right.
It's gone
the
now.
Angels Share Whiskey Distillery 00 gauge layout. A big hi to you. Moreland Model Railway Andy. Leslie Gilpin. Tim Condrup. Chris Hales Heritage Railway. Ben Tullett says, everyone feels sorry for the 3 unhappy trolls who disliked. It's alright, it just counts as an interaction. I've
You're
been
allowed
saying
to
this.
not like things.
Yeah. But it's something I've been saying, actually, to a few smaller YouTubers who, as they've got big, have said, why are people... I've got these dislikes, what's going on here? And I said, look, it just... Even if you look at the most amazing video on YouTube, there'll be somebody who's disliked it. It's like I watched a video, it's a music video, and it's just the most amazing track, and there were still 36 people who disliked it, and all I wanted to write in the comments was who are these 36 people? But it counts as an interaction, so actually it makes no difference as far as YouTube is concerned.
Mike and Sue at Pudham Junction says, I think we need a bird of prey hidden instead of a TARDIS for Zoe's Klingon. Well, actually, there is a bird of prey on the layout. It's just cloaked.
Oh, clever. Gwion Rhys Davies, ahoy to you. Ahoy. Apparently when they invented the telephones, Alexander Graham Bell, he couldn't decide on what the greeting would be, and ahoy was his choice of greeting. He was supposed to pick up the phone and go, ahoy. Didn't catch on.
Which is why Mr. Burns, when he answers the phone in The Simpsons, says, ahoy hoy.
Yeah.
It's a reference.
Haven Rail says, just bought the LMS train pack for bargain price of 180 squids. Hornby sell for 267. It's the Fowler plus 3 Era 3. It's the LMS coaches. Yeah, I've been looking at that as well. It is a bargain. I've been looking at that as well. My finger was hovering above the buy button.
Jenny in
on
wanting
Rails
to
of
buy
Sheffield,
trains,
and they sold out. I was waiting for my model train fund to renew itself at the start of the month, and the day before the start of the month they sold the last one. I was most disappointed, but it doesn't matter. I ended up actually money burning a hole in my pocket. I bought, I don't know if will it show up on this camera angle? Just into shot, underneath the weird knob mouse. Let's see what's through the square window.
Oh, which is a nice way of mentioning our sponsors there, thank you.
Yeah, but this locomotive I bought, which is one of the new Bachmann Class 24 ones, and you'll have to wait till Wednesday for the full review of that, but what I will say is I was quite impressed by it. It's a really great model, it has to be said. Richard Swiderski found the TARDIS. I'm probably well behind here.
Just a little bit.
David Scott said Dad was from there. Spent many holidays down by the river. I'm presuming. Are we still talking about the River Towie, which is actually the river which eventually flows through Swansea, hence Swansea's Welsh name, which is Abertawe, which I believe is what's Aber? Because it's Abercrave. It's Aber River, Abertawe. So literally Swansea is River Towie.
I don't know.
Or it could be mouth of the Towie.
On the Towie.
It could be on the Towie. Yeah, it could be.
It's like Cambridge is named after the bridge over the Cam Bridge.
Brian Moser says, in the valley you were on about Seven Sisters. Of course, yes, the Seven Sisters. But interestingly enough, Onllwyn was the place where the coal washery was, where during the miners' strike, the LGB group from London went and raised money for to support the miners.
Is that what that film was about that you cried through?
The Pride film. Actually, it did make me cry. I felt really sorry for Bill Nighy's character. That's what made me cry in that film, was when Bill Nighy's character...
You cried for Bill Nighy?
No, his character came out, said to his wife, I'm gay, and his wife just went, I know, and it was like, oh, I'm tearing up. Oh, I'm a little softy.
This week on the train chat, we're talking about films.
Yeah, this week on the train chat, we see Jenny crying about films. I cried at Railway Children, you know. That bit where Jenny Agata runs down the platform and goes, Daddy, Daddy, my daddy.
You mention this every time.
Do you not cry at that?
I've never seen it.
Back me up.
I've never seen the film.
Have to get that film. I have to watch that. And the other thing as well is, if you don't cry in the first 10 minutes of the film up, there's something wrong with you. Oh, I so feel for that guy. Bo Minnick, hi to you.
Oh, everyone's spotted the TARDIS already.
I have one of those blue police boxes. Are they overscale? No, I believe that it is the Holmby Scaledale model, so it is in 00. So that should be the actual size.
Yeah, the thing about the TARDIS is it's actually not the size of a person.
Yeah.
All of them are bigger.
Gwian Rhys Davies says, you should come visit Swansea Railway Modellers Group if you come to Wales. I would absolutely love to. I want to, once all this COVID stuff finishes and we get back to normal, I really want to arrange to come and visit War World Scenics, and also Oxford Rail is there as well. In fact, I know exactly where Oxford Rail is. I've delivered in a former life to one of the companies on that industrial estate. Is it Forestfach Industrial Estate, which is just off the M4. But yeah, I know the area well. But you know, I grew up. Part of my childhood was spent in Ystrad up the Swansea Valley, and I used to beg and beg to my grandfather to drive me over to Kevin Coyd Colliery so I could play on the locomotive that is still plinth in the car park. It's a J94, I call them a J94. It's actually the Hunslet Austerity tank, J94. But that is completely unrestored. I'm not even sure whether it was Kevin Coyd Colliery's actual shunter. I suspect more likely it came down the line from Onllwyn.
According to James Petts, Abertawe means mouth of the River Tow.
See, didn't I say mouth of the Towie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that so Abercrave would actually mean mouth of the River Crave.
We had a great few days in Abercrave, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we stayed at the Abercrave Inn. It's great. If you ever get to go to the Abercrave Inn, it's actually where Ewan McGregor, when he did that thing on the motorcycles with his friend, that's one of the places that they stayed at, and the bar in there has pretty much every whiskey that has ever existed, and you could just buy a shot.
What was that Jura that we were trying there? And my goodness, it was smooth.
I like this. George Potterini says, that's why the world spins. These trolls get off and push. Boom! But don't forget, share the stream on social media. Let everybody know that we are live and dangerous. It's great to have you all in here, and it's just so wonderful to hang out with you guys. But yeah, we need to show some more views of the trains going round. Just a Puggle with internet access, aka Harrison. God, that's a mouthful. I'm just going to call you Harrison, I think, because that's quite a mouthful.
Flammerchemin one says...
hold on. Go and visit Ye Olde Model Train Emporium in Kent. It's great. You were saying?
Flammerchemin one says, Klingon Tachbel Luchuk Klingon Vloch Hwang.
And the same to you.
Yes. A lot about Klingon.
Yeah, right.
I believe that is Klingons... are as Klingons do, but I may be incorrect.
Yeah. J. Paul Anderson, hi to you. And Simon Trace MRS, follow-on question. What is your least favourite pre-grouping company? That's an interesting one. Probably Kent and East Sussex Railway. I find their locomotive liveries a bit bland. And it's probably really unfair, but they had a lot of old terriers, and I just find that plain blue livery, and even, I think, I've got one, this is the previous release of the Hornby Terrier, but that's Sutton in green. It just seems very boring and bland, and I don't know why, but even though I do have some Kent and East Sussex Railway liveried locomotives, such as this one, I think I've got Rolvenden up there as well. It's not a railway line that particularly tickles my fancy, and I couldn't tell you why. Crossways Point Junction, hi to you. Southern Train Girl, hi. Let's have a look. Midi Wistaston Junction, big hello to you. Great to see you in the chat again. Common Road Junction, let's have a look. Bangor Junction, Carl Braun. Let's have a look. Yeah, J94 says, I think I've seen photos of that J94. You can find pictures of the Kevin Coyd Gate Guardian online. But like I said, Kevin Coyd Colliery is a mining museum, or at least it was last time I went there. And it's only a small colliery, and I think it's been a mining museum for a very long time, because I'm sure that I can remember going there in the 1980s, and it was a mining museum. So I suspect that the Hunslet austerity probably came from another local colliery. I'm suspecting from somewhere like Onthwyn, or even the very large Opencast site that used to be further on around the line around from there. You look like you wanted to say
Timbersurf was saying that we like Klingon. So Timbersurf Klingon hold Dajatla. Can we lose the Klingon language? Kapla.
Kaplunk.
Not Kaplunk.
Yeah, it is Kaplunk. Anyway, the
Klingons to announce their success do not shout Kaplunk.
No, Kaplunk, Gronk got Kaplunk.
Yes, put a Gronk on.
No. Well, I suppose I could. Why are people requesting it? Because the Cupboard Monkey doesn't care.
Gronk. A few people did right at the start. Simon's Trains was saying Gronk.
I didn't see it. 57305 Northern Princess. During the 60s, Doctor Who, the police box wasn't the correct size as a real one, as they couldn't get a full-size one in the lifts at Lime Grove Studios. I can imagine that. Morland
some of the
Railway
jokes
Andy, hi to you. Josh's Train Room, Rachel Houston, Hythe Kent, David Cook, and Kelly Ashford. Where do I start? Hi everyone. Today is my dad's birthday. I'm really sorry to hear. My dad committed suicide in 1999. I'm overcome with grief. I'm really, really sorry to hear that. You have my utmost sympathies. I know I lost my first fiance to suicide, and it's always very hard.
Yeah.
Because it's often amazingly hard for the people left behind.
And it's always a shock.
Yeah, because then you always find yourself thinking, could I have done something? But you mustn't beat yourself over it. And it's now nearly 15 years since I lost Steffi, and it never dulls. It never dulls.
And I don't think grief ever does.
No.
You learn to live with it rather than get over it.
Very much. So you have my utmost condolences. James G says, I'm planning to get 2 Genesis coaches. I have the London Brighton South Coast Railway livery for the Terrier. Do I just get the LBSCR once? See, if you've got Terriers in the appropriate livery, then yeah, that's a good one. And there's also, don't forget, the H1 Brighton Atlantic is available from Bachmann, or was available from Bachmann, in that lovely livery. I think the E4 tank as well came out in that livery. So there is a choice of motive power for London Brighton and South Coast Railway. I think it all depends on your other locomotives in your fleet. I, for one, I have so many locomotives in so many pre-grouping liveries that I can justify pretty much every single one that they're releasing. And I dread to think how much it would cost to buy one of every single coaches that they're releasing.
A lot.
Yes, pretty much.
TRMN311 is saying, how many likes do we need to get tonight so that Zoe can get a pizza?
Zoe gets us pizza at 400 likes, and we also need to beat the record on total number of concurrent people, which currently stands at, what was it,
325, I think it is.
No, it was something like 340, I think we got up to last week. Last week was a bumper.
Yeah, but what Jen doesn't know is I have the power to summon a pizza right here in my hand.
Yeah, but you're not going to, because, no, seriously, no. We need to have 400 likes and 400 concurrents before I will endorse Pizza-Ridge. Right.
And for those who were asking, last week's pizza was a vegetable without mushrooms, and it was delicious, and even Jenny had some.
No. Right, Bo Minnick asks, I'm waiting for the Daypole LBSC Terriers. Any idea when they might come out? Right, I know that Rails' release schedule, they've just released the Great Western Railway and the Western Clevedon and Portishead Railway ones. That's the one that you see with the WC and PR in like the green. They're what became the GWR pair. And those two have just been released. I think they came out last Friday. I believe that the next two that are expected to arrive at Rails next will be the BR Isle of Wight one. I can't remember what its livery is. Well, it's in BR Black, but it's one of the Isle of Wight Terriers. And also a Southern Railway example. Again, I can't remember off the top of my head the running number. And then after that, they are expecting the improved engine green ones. So don't quote me, but I would expect that both Box Hill and Brighton will come at the same time. And I know that Box Hill is a terrier, which I'm really looking forward to. Having been sent by Hornby the Brighton, which I did a review on, I've decided I very much want the Rails Box Hill, because there's no point in having two Brightons. But right, somebody wanted it, there was a Brian Moser said that they wanted they wanted to see a Class 8, a Gronk. So I'm going to put some of these mineral wagons back on. And they're the ones that derailed around the other side.
Somerset Andy says, Zoe, a question for you. What famous British actor was in charge of the Death Star in Star Wars?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Well...
is this going to be a trick question?
That's what I'm thinking. Peter Cushing was Grand Moff Tarkin.
But was he in charge? Who was the other guy?
Ian McDiarmid's not British. Technically, he would be in charge as the Emperor. So, I'm thinking it's got to be a... Darth Vader wasn't. Darth Vader wasn't in charge of the Death Star.
Oh, it dares you to go up to him and say he's not in charge.
He knew he wasn't. He was there on the Death Star.
Who played the Emperor? Technically, he's
Ian McDiarmid.
But so what nationality is he?
I can't remember.
8673. Oh, this is a tricky one here. So...
Ian McDiarmid is a Scottish actor.
Oh, so that would count as British.
Well,
8673.
Yes. Tony Simmons says Darth Vader used to be the Green Cross Code Man, and once you know that, and you know what his voice actually was, he's not scary anymore.
He's like Broad Yorkshire or something, isn't he?
So, by heck, Luke, I'm your father. Here I come with my whip.
Yes. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to my flat cap. It went to canal. Right. Anyway, Keith Pointer says Peter Cushing. Were we? A big hello to Sparky 107. Great to see you. Don't forget, everybody, share on social media. Let everybody know that we're live and dangerous. Let's see if we can have another.
Are you suggesting we're dangerous?
Actually, we got a bumper turnout last week because it was Bank Holiday Monday, so I think a lot of people were about. Big hello to Pennington TMD, Don Heath, Tony Simmons, Route 7 Railway, Keith Pointer, Saber Dareth asks, is there any ideas when the DCC Sound Terriers from Rails are coming out? I believe that the Great Western Railway and the Western Cleveland and Portishead Railway sound-fitted Terriers should be coming out imminently. And then they're looking to, I think the first 4, there was a problem with supply, so I'm trying to remember which the first 4 were. There was a BR black one, which I've got. I can't remember what I think it was a Kent of East and East Sussex, sort of Southern, Isle of Wight Southern, and something else. Those have been delayed due to COVID and may end up at the back of the queue now, which is one of the reasons that Rails has taken them off their website. But certainly the sound fitted will be coming through for the new models pretty soon. So I know that Rails is sorting out one of the 2 that are currently available and being sent a sound fitted one. So that suggests to me that sound fitted for those is available, and as the later ones, so the Southern Railway, the Isle of Wight BR Black, and then subsequently the improved engine green ones, Brighton and Box Hill, the sound ones should come out fairly quickly after those hit the range, and then they'll go back and do the sound fitted ones of the original 4.
Paul Cottrell's got a brilliant one for you here. How do you recognise a dyslexic Yorkshireman? He's the one wearing a cat flap.
I like that. Yeah, I was just thinking the dyslexic one is a bit that a joke that I know is a bit rude, and I was thinking it can't be that one.
Yeah. The guy who bought a warehouse, is that?
Yes. Garthian, big hello to you. I've just been re-gauging my 16mm scale Garrett now to 32mm gauge. I do love those Garden Railway Garretts. Very expensive. I think they're well over £1,000 or something. They're not cheap, but they certainly look fabulous. When I went to the Festival of Garden Railway Modelling in Peterborough, not last year, but the year before, I think that was, when we were promoting Biggest Little Railway, it has to be said that I did see them, and it was a lovely model. They had a raffle, which I did enter, but it has to be said I didn't win anything. Although my friend won, I think it was a Poly locomotive in not Ogate, well, 32mm narrow gauge. So a friend of mine was a winner in the raffle, but one of the raffle prizes was the Live Steam Garrett. And is that from Roundhouse Engineering? But it's certainly a lovely piece of kit.
Ben Likes Trains says, what's your favourite wagon?
My favourite wagon? It varies a little bit, but actually, if you look to the very front of the train with the Garrett as it goes round, not the brake fan, but the wagon after the brake fan, I do really like that. So you'll see just there behind me, if you can actually see what it is, I'll be very impressed. So I will tell you, it's a Bachmann wagon, but it's the Shepherd Neame wagon, which was a special commission by Erith Model Rail Society. I believe they're long since sold out. But really love that wagon. There's something about that livery. It's a bit different, having a private owner livery on a ventilated van.
Harry Von Thiel has a great answer to that question. Wagon wheels.
Yeah, I'm sure they're getting smaller, although apparently they're going out on strike. Burton's Biscuit staff aren't happy with their... because they've been working through all the COVID lockdown, and they've been offered a miserable below-inflation pay rise. So they said, well, fine, we'll go out on strike. Yeah. And I do sympathise, because I think, people think, well, they're getting greedy. No, they just haven't had a proper pay rise in 10 years, like the rest of us as well, because I know that the company where I work in my day job, I know that every time...
Just let's not get too political, because this is a train thing.
No, I'm just saying that we didn't get a pay rise, like a biggie pay rise for a good long time.
These things happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Felix Colas Lorisera, I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. Do you think it's a good idea to pre-order a Dapol Wainwright D-Class? Any news about them? Thanks for your videos. Oh, well, thank you very much for the kind comments. I suspect that my gut feeling is that certain liveries could sell out. It's always very difficult to gauge this, but certainly I would say that the South Eastern and Chatham Railway grey livery, that was, an unexpectedly good seller when Hattons did the P-Class. It's actually the only P-Class that's sold out, and they did it in that livery. So that's one to watch. And the other one, of course, is the fully lined out South Eastern and Chatham Railway livery. If one of those two is your bag, I would suggest pre-ordering it. But I suspect some of the other liveries might stick around a little bit longer. You look like you want to ask a question.
Yes, Shanghai, where's it gone? Oh, it's gone off. Give me 1 second to find it. This is what happens to you all the time. Shanghai 264359 says, Jenny, I mentioned you to Tim at Arcadia Rail while placing an order with him last week. He said he hasn't seen you for a little while. It has been a while since we've been there, hasn't it?
Unfortunately, with the COVID lockdown, it has been very difficult. I do big up Tim and everybody at the Arcadia posse. I'd love to get up there more often, but unfortunately, my filming schedule for keeping the content coming on this channel does take up a lot of spare time, and it has just been really, really difficult. But I do try and mention Tim from time to time. So Tim, if you're watching, keep up the good work. And I know when we were in the full-on lockdown, I did mention that Tim at Arcadia is one of the shops that were keeping the supplies coming with mail order.
So yeah, when we're out of local lockdown, we'll have to get over there.
I'll have to do a trip over there, and maybe
don't trip over there.
But maybe do an interview, see how lockdown's been for some of the smaller retailers.
That sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
Morgan Model Railway Andy, how do you? NI Railways 4000 class says nearly at 300 viewers. Actually, I'm a bit behind.
307 watching now.
But we need 400. And then the cupboard monkey can have a pizza.
My stomach's rumbling already, Jenny. You're making me want pizzas.
I'm not hungry. AD Pullen, hi to you. D-Class due Q3, Q4 of this year, so Simon told me from Rails of Sheffield. Yeah, the livery samples have started turning up. I have seen photos. I know somebody got in trouble posting them up on RM Web. They got taken down. I think what it was that... they're not bothered about people seeing the model, it's just that they wanted to photograph it in a proper light box to really show off the best of the model. They didn't want sort of like mobile phone snaps creeping out first. So I do kind of understand. I do hope that nobody got into too much trouble over that. But certainly what I've seen of that model, that is another one to watch. Rails of Sheffield with their partnership, not just with Daypal actually as well, with Helgen, really looking forward to that North Eastern Railway rail car. There really are one to watch in the field with the stuff coming out, and also the South Eastern and Chatham Railway box fans. I've got 3, I think, of those on order of the next batch, which are sold out to pre-order, but really looking forward to them. Mike and Sue Putnam Junction, hi to you. Ben likes trains. Oh, we've already answered that with what's my favourite wagon. Clive Cobalt, hi to you. Sabre Darius has been recently sound-fitting Thomas & Friends locomotives. Really adds to those lovely models. I'm guessing that the new Bachmann models natively support DCC and sound, but I don't know about the older Hornby ones. James Sucks in Life says, favourite wagon? Hatton's Warwell. That's actually a good choice. I've got one over here at the back somewhere. In fact, if we go to camera 3, I don't know whether you can just about see it. Oh, you can see the gap where it is. You can see the Hatton's ICI hopper, which again is another wagon I love. But actually immediately to its left, you'll see the ingot mould wagon. But behind that, just if I move my finger to there, just above my finger there, that's where there is a Hatton's Warwell, but it's obviously it's a low wagon, it's out of sight. They are really good. Let's have a look. David Scott, austerity at Kevin Coyd Colliery, last home was in Leamington Spa. Great lot of history on Google. I have to sorry, I've just been somebody sent me a message. I didn't realise it was from Leamington Spa. Let's have a look.
Okay, while Jen's doing that, what else we got? Jenny, I fitted my Daypal all-gauge pannier tank engine with a Hornby TTS sound decoder from a J36, and it worked out brilliant, says TRMN311. Is that... I'm assuming it's a different kind of of pannier tank, isn't it?
Sorry, what? I was just reading a message.
A dipole all gauge pannier tank. He's fitted it with a Hornby TTS sound decoder from a J36.
That's an interesting one. I'm trying to think. Right, a J36 would have the same number of cylinders. It's also an 060. Would have a completely different sounding whistle for a start. I fitted different TTS chips and locomotives that weren't necessarily intended for. The thing I tend to go off is number of cylinders is desperately important. So, you know, if you fit a 2-cylinder chip in a 4-cylinder loco, it's going to sound completely wrong out of the box. But as long as you fit, say, 2-cylinder to 2-cylinder, etc., then that's a start. But I also try and stick to the same railway company. So, effectively from the Big Four or from a BR build, what I'm looking for is the sound of the whistle. I think will be quite distinctive. But the thing I would say with an O-gauge pannier is that just be careful about the number of amps that an O-gauge loco can potentially pull, whether it might prove too much. But, you know, as long as you don't push that locomotive, that's actually a very cost-effective way of adding sound to them. Bo Minnick says, Jenny, when are you going to pick up some North American models? I'd love to, actually. There are certain North American models. I do love a lot of the, especially the North American short lines. At the moment, there's I can't for the life of me remember the YouTube channel, but it's it's nicknamed the Susie Q. It's like the Utica and New York Railroad, and it actually there's a place in Utica called Schuyler Street, and it runs down the middle of this street, and there's even a spur off it into I think it's a brewery, straight off the main line, which is in the centre of a main road, and it trundles down this road through the residential area and then goes off into the wilds, and it's such an intriguing line. I've become fascinated by that railroad, to the point where if I had the space, I would love to model a US outline railroad. I think there's some really great little short lines. It really does appeal to me. But I guess the biggest issue, as with everything else, is probably space and money. My golden rule really is to try not to overstretch myself. I've broken that rule so many times, but with O-gauge, I always found like one scale at a time. And I want to build a small portable 009 continuous running layout, particularly because I'm very impressed by the upcoming the small England locomotives that Pico is doing in conjunction with Cato. I'm really blown away by those. I think that's a great project. The Festiniog Railway bug box coaches as well. They've just brought out the new liveries of those. If you've seen them, it's the actual Festiniog Railway. It's like a sort of a dark plum colour. It's such an exquisite livery. I really am getting taken by modelling the Festiniog Railway. But to go to a US outline, unfortunately, Weir Yard is probably not prototypically going to be a good fit for anywhere in America if I changed all the stock. I know some people sometimes will like build a railway that's kind of could be like New England or it could be Britain, and then they change the stock and it works out quite nice. But I think Weir Yard would look odd with US outline stuff on, but never say never. I would love to get some.
Challenge accepted. Never.
Yeah.
I said it. You told me not to, and I said it.
Harry Draper says, "Hi Jenny, hope you're okay." Thank you very much, I am. Hope you are too. Did you watch the F1 yesterday? I remember you saying you watch it. I used to watch it. Unfortunately, when it left terrestrial TV, we were watching so little TV, we decided to just like cut out TV. I'm such a busy person. I never get much time to watch TV. I'd love to watch Formula One, but it's just not accessible to me, it has to be said. So I haven't watched anything from the last couple of seasons. Shane's Trains, hi to you from across the pond. Keith Pointer as well, big hello to you. Harry Von Tilly says, yes, the biscuits are also good, as is Burton's biscuits. Southern Train Girl, the Olivia's trains have the SE and CR grade P class, but sound only. That's interesting. I didn't realise that they were still for sale out there, brand new. The sound fitting will be an aftermarket thing. It was only ever offered DCC ready, but Olivia does specialise in adding sound and customisation options. But certainly, it's one of those things that it proved to be an incredibly desirable livery. Ham Shackleton says Zoe is called Cupboard Monkey, not Cover. I missed that. What that's a reference to, I'm afraid. Keith Pointer, don't worry. Frank Feely, big hello to you. Jay says I've recently bought myself another toad. I've got like a little bit of like a spider or something. There you go. I got rid of you. I recently bought myself another toad. This one's a Bachmann exclusive to classic trains and motorbus. Only 504 were issued. I love it very much. I must admit, I've got some of the exclusive toad brake vans that Bachmann have done. Kernow Model Centre has done quite a few. I think I've got 3 different ones from their exclusives, but I've also got one that was done for a Locomotive group at the Severn Valley Railway, which is quite an unusual one. I picked it up mint in box but second hand, and that's quite an interesting one, so certainly really interesting. Hello to Tim Condra, George as well. Hi Jenny and Zoe and everyone else. A little late to the show. Did I miss anything juicy? Not really. If we get to 400 likes and 400 concurrent viewers, then I will buy Zoe a pizza. Ben Likes Train says, what is the wagon you have the most of? Oh, that is very easy. 16-ton mineral wagons. There's somewhere approaching 90 now on this layout. Somerset Andy, my new Class 90 arriving tomorrow needs the Bachmann decoder for the loco because of the pantograph that works. Yes, the Class 90 needs the... it will work with a regular decoder, but you can't raise and lower the pantograph if you don't have the special decoder. I believe that... oh, is it Zemo or TCS? There's another manufacturer makes a decoder that will also work, but they're tricky to get hold of in the UK. Kelly Ashford says, I'm glad I've got someone to share with. As I said before, it's a suicide in the family, certainly with a close family member, is always very difficult, and never beat yourself up over it, never blame yourself, but understand that grief is something that, as the Cupboard Monkey says, you learn to live with it, you never get over it, and it's perfectly normal and natural to never quite get over it. I feel myself tearing up now. I have lost I've lost somebody very close to me to suicide as well about 15 years ago, so I do feel your pain and understand how difficult it can be even after all these years.
On a completely different note, I've ordered the shock mount.
Oh, have you? How much was it?
£11.
Is that all?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, so how did we not order that before?
Because we forgot.
Combat Bunny, big hello, welcome back. We should. Nobody's actually requesting trains. It's supposed to be like request trains sort of thing.
Did you mention that, or is it just in the description bar?
It's just in the title of the live stream, at least it was.
No, it's not.
Big hello
Virtual
to
Model Railway
Cottesmore.
Exhibition, trains running, plus news and chat.
Oh right, well then you typed it in wrong. Nick Gerolamo, there is so much to go at, isn't there, Jenny? Every time I come on here, I end up ordering another loco.
Tony Simmons has an interesting request. I've never seen you run an HST 125.
I don't have one.
That'll be why he's never seen you run it.
I did. I am kind of getting round to the idea of getting one, but they're awfully difficult to pick up at the moment. They do seem to be in heavy demand.
Ham Shackleton says, they're too modern. Guion Rhys Davis says, run something GWR, please.
GWR, right, okay. GWR. Right, let me find an appropriate GWR locomotive.
And Somerset Andy says, an intercity Swallow Class 47. So there you are.
How does he know I have one? Thank you very much, by the way. I'm still eternally grateful for that. I've got to think where I put it as well. Right, GWR. Let's start with GWR.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I will have a look. Starkiller 100 says, any chance of Season 3 of the Layout Competition Show? Now, I'm going to answer this. I think they will have to
GLRCs,
wait
yeah.
until next year at the very earliest to try and even film it due to lockdown and COVID, because it would have been
Yeah.
filmed in the summer.
It would have, yes. I'm going to be putting on a King class locomotive. So we've got King Charles II.
The king who brought back partying.
Yes. Yes, and made spaniels, King Charles spaniels, cool. So I'm going to wait for the Q6 to come round, and we're going to put a King on.
Richard Swiderski says, let's see a 9F, ha ha.
I haven't got a 9F yet. I'm certain.
Has anyone got a 9F yet?
Oh yeah, loads of people have one. What I really want is a Bachmann 9F, but it's not currently in the catalogue this year, so it's actually very tricky to get hold of. The crusty boilered one from Hornby, I did have a look at that, and in all honesty, not for me, I don't think. I decided against the crusty boilered one. Essentially, I'm waiting for Bachmann to... Oh, sorry, I'm all tangled here. I'm waiting for Bachmann to bring out...
We're having numerous requests for a Gronk.
There's already a Gronk going round. There, it's on screen. There.
Gronk it up, baby.
So we've already got a Gronk.
Gronk it up,
Yeah, because
baby.
I can... There's the Gronk's horn.
Gronk.
Right, so I'm going to change the Q6 for a GWR King, because
Guardian says that you're already running his favourite.
Yes, the Garrett, and I can't really change the Garrett for anything else, because I don't think anything else will particularly pull that length of train. So, in fact, actually, I have an idea.
And when you have a minute, my goodness, I've got something to show you.
Have you? Right. I'm going to change the Q6, and I'm also going to change the spam can. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring the spam can round, and actually a King. I'm not putting the King on 16-ton mineral wagons.
He's too good for the 16 tons, is he?
Yeah, too right. I think people would... I think Kelly would say, what are you doing? So I'm going to take the spam can off as well, and that means I can do a twofer with two different requests, because the King was asked for... I think Guion asked for the GWR King. So, come on you, get on the track. My eyesight's not what it used to be.
No. Well, at least we're getting an interesting show on the screen now.
Are we? What are you getting? My big fat bottom?
Yeah, we've got the butter cam.
Right, anyway.
TRMN 311 says you can never have too many Gronks!
Right, anyway, right, so
we should be gronking it up tonight.
You keep an eye on the comments, by the way, because
am.
I'm not watching them at the moment.
I know. So, we're getting a lot of interesting... Are you breaking everything, my dear?
Coming off the track.
Well, that's just wrong then, isn't it?
You're saying interesting comments. I can put a train on the track and answer at the same time, so...
Well, I am looking for some questions. At the moment, we're just getting a lot of requests.
Interesting. Like, nobody was requesting anything until like, come on people, and then suddenly it's all go, isn't it?
Richard Swiderski says bottoms up from the butter can. And Kelly Ashford says you can never have too many shrill whistles. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about it. I think he could have too many. Like
Somerset
50 or
Andy,
60.
Somerset Andy asked for the Somerset Andy Class 47, so I'm going to put that on next. So
Richard Swiderski asks, what news on the new TV programme? What new TV programme is this, Jenny?
The one which I can't really give any details of, but I know nothing. I learned the English from the book. Basically, no
Oh my
news.
goodness, thank you so much, Roger. That's really generous, thank you.
Thank you very much to Roger Hunter. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much, donating £5 on the super chat. That is incredibly generous of you, and I think for that, Roger, you get to go to the top of the class, to the top of the pile, and request the next locomotive change, 4734. So let me just get this one running.
And while you're doing that, David Cook says, Jenny, do you rate smoke units?
I I'm not a big fan, it has to be said.
You fiddled on with Les's one time, didn't you?
Yeah, we figured out.
You were.
Yeah. Right, but anywho, essentially, right. Sorry, has Roger put any request in? So
the only thing he's put in is a trident.
A what?
A symbol of a trident.
So let's have a look.
Richard Swersky says, fair enough, as long as you tell us well in advance. I think the moment she's allowed to say something and actually has something to say, or they tell us something, then she'll be straight in.
Tim Condrip says, please can you run the Class 57XX in Railway Children if you got one? I sadly haven't. So Roger Hunter has... Hunter, GWR Pania. Right, we can do that. Brilliant. So
317 watching, only 170 likes. Please smash that like button, guys. I would love a pizza.
Yeah, and don't forget as well, share us on social media.
Jenny won't let me have a pizza unless we get to far too many likes. I think we should knock it down to 200 likes.
So Roger Hunter very kindly gave £5 on the super chat. So I am going to put in his request when this one comes round.
We've got an interesting question here. Where's it? Oh dear.
You asked me
Where has it gone? Barry Turner says he has 3 Gronks in NSE. Do you have any in that livery?
I don't know. I would love to get one. The one that I can think of is Ivor the Engine, which was a Network Southeast Class 8. Later went to the RTC.
Isn't that a set of books?
It was a kids' TV program from the 60s, 70s.
Right.
So this is the Roger Hunter GWR Pania. So Loco 1370.
Ben Tullett says, yes, a Pania.
Yeah.
I still say Gronk it up.
Running. Come on.
What? You seem to be having a few issues with that line tonight. Have you been spraying stuff again?
No. What it is that a lot of these locomotives don't run very often. So they kind of have a bit of
You need to get them on your rolling road.
Yeah, pretty much. But they kind of have a bit of a strop as a result.
Simon Train says, Gronk for a Pania, fair trade. No, get the Gronk running as well.
No, it's one or the other.
No, run it behind like it's trying to catch up.
No.
Oh.
Right, so I'm gonna...
Water Road's in. Hello, Water Road.
Big hello to Water Road, great to see you.
Have you been out driving around your choo-choo? Oh, a giant one. You had a hell of a day there, didn't you?
I did. I absolutely adored going there, it has to be said. Ooh, dear.
Flymo Chairman's just put the Almost Media Channel's YouTube channel into the chat. Guys, you may be interested to know that the latest in our series on Almost Media has gone up. It's 2 animations where the crew of the original Star Trek are reviewing the films from Star Trek. So that's fun. I had a lot of fun animating those. What did you think of that, Jen? It's a bit different.
I thought they were very good, yes. Right, where are we up to? Garthian says Express Freight. Well, we've got the... Where's the 47? What have we lost to 47?
Is that the bright red one?
Oh, what? No. It's just going through Jablight Mountain. Oh, it's just... Right. Tim Condrip asks, please can you run the Tornado? Again, I don't have the Tornado. Nick Garolimo says, how about a Southern Atlantic H2? I don't have a H2. You're picking all the locomotives I don't have.
They're doing this on purpose to see what you've got.
Starkiller 100. So many trains, my head is spinning. Well, I have about, I think it's about 215 in my collection. Right.
Just a question here.
I think
is that okay, Game Hammer Classic Gaming? I'm not sure what you're asking about, Flymo.
You might have to scroll back a bit.
I have.
The comments do come in very quickly, and as I say before, if you asked a question and I haven't answered, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just simply that it's so easy to miss comments at the moment. But we've got that little 1366 pannier is doing all right there. If we're on that angle, then you can see it when it goes down the back there. So actually, which
one are we looking at?
I'm trying to follow the pannier.
I've just moved it off that because we were on there for ages.
Well, I'm going to let it show the pannier that Roger Hunter picked. Very kindly gave us £5 on the super chat.
Thank you so much.
Very much. Oh! It thought I couldn't see it, didn't it?
It's left them all behind.
Yeah, it thought I didn't see. Where's it gone? It's just randomly stopped somewhere.
Oh, it's here.
You mind that signal? Pull it forwards.
I am. It's not happy.
Are we?
It's going backwards.
It'll stop somewhere in the mountain. Oh no, there
no,
it
hasn't.
is.
It's coming through. Whoa!
Right.
That did not hit.
I'm gonna just back it all up. This is like slowly, monkey climbing.
Flammer Channel 1 says, putting the sponsor's channel up, naughty step? No. Thank you very much, I forgot.
Yeah, we forgot to name check the sponsor.
Simon Trends MRS says, love the pannier decoupling live.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, live from Weir Yard. Pannier not working.
One of the things that you find, and this is my big gripe with the Helgen locomotives, is they give you cranked couplings that are a waste of space. Is
that the issue?
Yeah, I've talked about this on the reviews. They're the wrong height. So for some reason I've not replaced both on this. I've only replaced one of them.
Is it the wrong one?
It is for the way that I want to run this locomotive.
Well, while you're doing that, Tony Simmons asks, how many trains can you run at the same time?
Theoretically, something like 40, given the amount of power I can supply to the track. Or it might be about 30.
Everyone's noticed the TARDIS was sitting there between the signals?
Yeah.
It certainly was.
Right, let me just... so, are we still getting requests in for
Loads, huge amount. I'm going to let you go through most of the requests now.
Right, I'm just going to get this up and running.
Melchester Motor Railway says, coughs and sneezels spreading diesels.
There's only one diesel running, to be honest. Just trying to get this... it's got quite a slow acceleration curve, so what happens is you think, I need to give it a bit more beans, Oh no, it's doing warp speed!
Oh, Angus's Trains is in. We haven't seen him for a while.
Angus's Trains, great to see you. It's been an awfully long time.
Yeah. Whoa. What was that went off in the beep?
That's alright, it's this going way too fast. I think that...
Your little pannier didn't work.
Little panniers being badly behaved, so very sorry, Roger Hunter. So what other requests have you spotted there, Zoe?
Well, we've got a mention here from Timbersurf. Sounds like a test video for Jenny. How many trains can I run at the same time? Yeah, we'll roof mount a wide-angle lens and see if we can run it on the entire thing.
So, right, I've had to stop that. That pannier's not liking the undulations on the track.
That's a new big word for you. When did you learn that?
Undulation. Write that down.
Who taught you that?
Every day. Disaster has struck. Wardle Road says Steamy's caused confusion and delay. Guion Reese Davies, that's a bit rude. Vote for a GWR pannier. I suppose it doesn't have to be in GWR livery. So let's go looking for a GWR pannier, but not necessarily in GWR livery. I know just the thing, actually. So this will be number 90 on my DCC.
Ow, I banged my head moving the TARDIS.
Oh, you done.
194 likes, 311 watching. It's lovely to have so many people joining us for this.
It's great.
It is really great.
It is great. I feel absolutely humbled that you guys want to hang out with me on Monday nights. But right, we've changed GWR panniers. We've gone for the 57XX pannier, but it's in London Transport livery, just to be a bit contrary. So hopefully,
very quite contrary.
Yeah.
Which one do I turn on to turn those lights on?
The rightmost green one.
That one?
Yeah, if that's the rightmost green one, then that. Yep, there you
Yeah.
go. Right.
Let's see some.
Right, where are we up
lights.
to?
Water Road says, Zoe, when is the next vlog? Probably tomorrow because I spent far too long making the animations for Star Trek and then didn't have anything to show you, so I'll probably do it tomorrow.
Simon Trains MRS says, I love that YouTube show. Oh.
What have you done now? What have you broken? Oh, Jeff Hammond says, love the Star Trek view. I'm so happy, thank you. It was like a labour of love to make that. And Jen didn't really understand what I was going for until she saw it, did you? So, what are you doing drawing these pictures?
I'm going to slow that down a little bit. There we go. I came off the track down the other side. Right, anyway. Where are we? Right.
Until it's looking at J94s on rails of Sheffield at the moment.
Is that
are you having a bad influence on people?
Yeah, I always do. EFE Rail. I'm in 2 months. The one I really like is Amazon. I don't know if it's still in stock, but I'm intrigued by that blue and yellow one that looks... the best way to describe it, in the photos, it looked a bit like a child's toy from the 70s. But certainly... I think they will come down in price as they sort of, after they go past the, is it 10 weeks when Bachman tries to encourage retailers to not offer more than 10% off or 15% off. So I think they will come down. But are they enough better than a Hornby ex-Dapol Hunslet Austerity? Now, they are better, that is for definite. Certainly they come DCC ready, but it's not difficult to DCC fit a Hunslet Austerity from Hornby. And I know that the EFE one, which is the former DJ Models one, it's not without its issues. Right, if we... Oh no, there's the Terrier.
Eraski says he's been binge-watching model railway videos after inheriting some odds and ends, and he's a little disturbed to have reason to use the phrase more expensive than Warhammer. I know. It's like everything me or Jen enjoy is ridiculously overpriced these days. I remember anime back in the 90s, and it was like 10 quid per couple of episodes on a VHS tape, and we had the old saying, anime, crack is cheaper. And it's got to the point where modern railways are the same. What are you breaking now? It's there again.
It's coming off the track at that point. So
have you broken something at that particular junction?
I'm afraid that... Right, have you seen any other requests for smaller locomotives?
Just put a Gronk on.
Actually, I've got an idea.
Lee Holden says, can you run a single-wheeled train?
What, a unicycle?
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
I think balance might be. You need some kind of very small gyro.
Crossways Point Junction says, can you run a Black Fire?
I think they mean a Black 5. I don't have one. You guys are very good at picking locos I don't have.
T69?
Whoa.
Well then.
That's not good, because that means...
What's happened?
No, it's all the warning signs of a decoder deciding to have a paddy.
Is it because it keeps stopping and starting with the beeps?
No, one of the things when you get a locomotive that rushes off at high speed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that over there.
Later on, will the king return?
Yeah, let me just sort out. Has anybody else made any requests?
Quite possibly, I'm just waiting.
Let's have a look. One of the things I will say is when you get a locomotive that suddenly lurches off at full speed, there's a warning sign there that your decoder's not happy. So... I put that king there. I'm going to take its decoder out at some point and just check it, just make sure all is well. Right. I'm well
I've at 2MT, says Liam at New Mills.
Clive Cobalt says, you put on class 25. Wayne Reese Davies, sorry for the body mouth, third-party reference. Yeah, I completely understand. I didn't boot you for 300 seconds. That was, but don't worry, not a problem. James Pett says, interesting, what decoder is in that locomotive? I'm not entirely sure. I had thought that I had a TTS sound chip in there, but in fact, I'm going to, once I get another locomotive on there, somebody suggested a 25, so we're going to put a class 25 on.
Everyone's saying Gronks.
Gronks?
Everyone wants a Gronk it up, baby. Gronk it up.
25. Right, I'm going to run the 25 for a little bit, because Clive Cobold, I saw his comment first, and he said class 25, and everybody else was too slow. Yahoo sucks. So look, 25, 52.
Wow, 204 likes, 301 watching now.
And we need the 400 in both. We need the full house.
So I need to make 200 new channels, do I?
Yeah, you need to make 200 fake accounts. If you ask the trolls, they know how to make fake accounts.
No.
Right, but
I'm not going under that bridge.
I'm going to investigate this locomotive.
Just before you do that, Garthian has sent us this. He says his big Garrett now ready to run.
Oh, I am impressed. I think, Garthian, that is an amazing Garrett.
I'm going to hold this up to the camera so people can have a look at that, because I can't really transfer it over to there. So, what do you think of that, guys? That is a thing of beauty. Oh, yeah.
Funnily enough, this is a TTS sound chip.
Oh, that's not good then, is it?
So, I'm going to just, which suggests that it's actually rocking a King sound chip. I'm just checking, there's nothing. And the reason I stick my lip on it is because what you'll find is the best way of very quickly ascertaining if something is really hot or really cold is with your lip. Because you
it's
will
also the best way of burning your lip.
No, you do it carefully, and you can actually you can recoil before you burn yourself because you get a quick.
Jim says it wasn't in focus, Zoe. Yeah, holding stuff up to the camera is never the best way because it won't focus.
Yeah. So I'm just going to. For some reason, I've wrapped the decoder in sellotape.
You did that to stop it from shorting, didn't you?
I did, but this is one that I've had chipped for quite some time. So you live and you learn, and what I've learned is that they like to be able to breathe.
Well, yes.
So I'm going to.
Everyone's noticed the TARDIS on the BGA wagon. It is. I like to move it around just to keep you all looking.
Yeah. Anyway, you keep talking to nice people whilst I try and sort out this model.
Lettuce Train says, Jenny, I don't usually come to the streams because Monday is not a good day for me. I try to come to them. Well, you're always welcome, and of course...
Very much. It's great to see you popping in, but I do understand, obviously, it's why... Oops.
Are you just breaking things?
No, I just want to make sure that this doesn't short against the actual plug, but I think everything else should be alright there.
Shall we show that on screen so people can see
what it's doing? That might be a good idea. What I'm actually doing here, I'm just going to...
you're just going to give everyone travel sickness. It's not going to focus at that.
Yeah, I did. This is inside the King that was showing the warning signs of a decoder getting unhappy. So it's actually a sound decoder. I'm going to just check this out now. What I'm going to do, let me just move to that camera so I can put that down. And I think...
Steam Guy says, oh, is there a TARDIS on this model layout? Well, from what others are saying. Yeah, we like to play a game of Spot the TARDIS. Whenever someone spots it, I try to move it and hide it somewhere else.
Yes, so he does that.
It's just a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So,
let me just... Right.
So what is it you're doing?
What I'm actually trying to do is to make sure... Let me just move the spam can out of the way. I'm also trying to keep my legs together here because I know that
yeah, the camera is now coming onto you.
Yeah. So what you'll see there is I'm just making sure that the chip can breathe a little bit. I don't know if it was getting a bit warm in there. So I'll just move the DCC Concept rolling road and I'm going to put that onto my test track first, and I'm just going to read it back and make sure there's no glitches. I don't know whether the TTS chip actually has the means to read error codes. I know that the Trainomatic ones do. So let's just read this.
Everyone's now saying, spotted the TARDIS, it's next to the King. It is, it's definitely there.
So I'm just reading the decoder address. That's interesting, actually. It's not coming up.
Oh, that's not a good sign, is it?
I've had a lot of difficulty of late. I think the track's dirty. What I'm doing now is I'm actually pushing the locomotive down to ensure. I think I can feel it twitching.
Flymarch M1 says, I think real sound is a lot of strain on such small circuitry, just his opinion though.
Yeah, for some reason my programming track is having all manner of issues.
Everything is, isn't it? Do you want to put it on the main line and see what happens there?
No, that's kind of a recipe for it to go pop. So
Fair
program
enough.
track, let's just try reprogramming it. 6009.
Okay, while you're doing that, TRMN311 says, Jenny, when a decoder has a problem, can they actually be fixed or do you have to just replace it?
If it actually blows, generally speaking, it'll be a surface mount component that's blown. And unless you're some kind of super expert at soldering minute components, it's a bit like trying to repair a computer motherboard. It's just not really possible.
Barry Turner says you should use the TARDIS to go back in time and prevent the King from burning out.
I don't think it's burnt out. It's just having a bit of a...
Right, what other comments have we got? Bit of an odd one from Kelly Ashford. I'm not sure what she's saying here.
Yeah.
Everything goes slow as a snail with Jenny. Is that... I don't get it. Is that about the speed the trains go around or what?
No. I think so, yeah. I tend to run them at kind of scale speeds.
Yeah, it would seem a bit weird if they were speeding around at fast pace. But to be honest with you, I think it's everyone's personal preference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some people like to go running around on their layouts, and you like to trundle.
Yeah, well, we're not getting an address. Do I dare actually place this thing down onto...
Okay, here we go. The moment of truth.
If it goes bang...
If it goes bang, at least you're alive on air.
Voltage isn't going up, that's good.
I was wanting to be able to see it on the camera, but we can't.
Right.
Steam Guy says, if I had a TARDIS, I would go back to my childhood. At least things were simpler back then. If I had a TARDIS, I would actually park in the 80s and find myself doing a bit of fluttering on the stock exchange, just, you know, with a bit of prior warning. So I've got enough money to buy every single type of computer that came out. During the heyday of the modern home computer. That's what I would do anyway.
So it's completely dead. That's really strange. It was working. It was working when I stopped it. I decided not to let it...
Yes, but what you said, Jan, was that it might be the first sign of it going, and I think it has gone.
It's very peculiar. So let's see.
James Betts says, you have excellent taste in decades going back to the 80s. Would you also wear shoulder pads and hairspray? Yes, I would. I would fit in. I would look like a gay Doctor Who, but I would fit in.
Right, I'm going to try and read CV8. So CV8.
Jeff Hammond at Flint Hill says, Jenny, it's worth doing a factory reset on the decoder.
Is that you reset CV8 to 8? I believe. Programming track. Address.
Weon Reese Davis said he would. Where's it gone? Garthian says I'd go back in time to see the Festignog in its heyday. Oh, I enjoyed the Festinian. We should show that video of us going around the spiral.
Yeah, we should. Maybe we'll do that on the Virtual Model Rail exhibition, which we're nearly up to, by the way.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to read on the program track. So it should be reset to number 3.
We've got some interesting comments now about everyone's firsts. Where is it? Where's it gone? Gronkston Model Rail. I love the name. Definitely love the name.
Oh, that is a good name, actually.
Yes.
Gronkston.
His first computer was a ZX80, then a ZX81, and his first console was a Binatone.
Oh, right, yeah.
Now, my dad's was the Binatone as well, and he got it out to show me after I got my Amstrad. And you know what? We had so much fun with it. It might be a very simple machine, but we loved playing Pong, and we certainly loved using the light gun to shoot the ball so that the opponent couldn't see where it was when you were playing Pong.
And that actually, was that a glitch, or was that like an Easter egg? What was going on?
It's a glitch. The thing with the Binatone Pong consoles was you got a few different games, but they were all using the same circuitry, which meant that the ball was being used as a ball in the Pong game, but as the target in the light gun game. And it couldn't tell which one it was for the purposes of making the ball disappear.
So how did you find out you could zap the ball? Was that a sister
My sister
related?
shot it while I was beating my mum in a game of Pong because she thought it would be funny to try and even the odds.
Which suggests
and then it found out that actually it did work out and it did even the odds.
Yes, in a sort of a what on earth are you doing sort of way.
Yes.
Right, I'm just getting an error coming up now.
Then there's not much we can do about it. The king will not be returning tonight unless you want to rechip it or something. We've got a few new people in. Tom Wilmot has turned up and he says he's seen you on the Great Model Railway Challenge. Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes.
You were one of the monsters in the Halloween display, weren't you?
No, that was you. Yeah, I'm really sorry about this, people. We have a dead Hornby TTS decoder, it would seem. That's very peculiar.
I think you've overheated it with the sellotape, I really do.
I'm not sure. What I'm going to do is I am going to swap out with a standard Trainomatic decoder, 8-pin.
Are you wanting to do a live swap? My goodness.
If you can put the roving cam on, I will show people what I'm going to be doing here.
Okay, let's find the roving cam again. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Dip, dip, dip.
So if the cupboard monkey is going to be just showing you what's going on there. So what I'm going to try and do...
It's not going to focus on you though. And this is what Jen always does when I'm trying to video for her. Puts her hands in the way of the camera immediately when I get lined up for a good shot. So what are you doing here, Jen?
Right, first of all, I've just unplugged the decoder itself. And then you've got to do something a little bit extra with the TTS decoders because
You've got to take out the speaker, haven't you?
Yeah. So there's 2 screws that I need to just take out there.
And don't lose the screws. You don't want to screw loose.
Yeah, definitely not. So there's no smell of magic smoke, it has to be said.
Maybe it's just overheated and shut down.
No, I don't think so. It's
Well, we're going to find out in a minute if it still works. We'll know for sure.
What I will do once I've got that off is I'm just going to look down inside and make sure that we don't have any frayed wires. You know, sometimes it's possible for stuff to get caught and
Bangotty Junction says this is open train surgery.
It is very much.
She's a train surgeon.
Oh, well, I see what you did there. Right.
See, I'm not a comedian for nothing.
So what I'm going to do is this is where we find out if there's a problem with the locomotive, because if the locomotive then goes and pops this, I'll be very annoyed.
Yeah, because that's the one you use for tests, isn't it?
Hmm? Well, this? No. This is just.
You just happen to have. You like to keep some in stock. I forgot. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you know I fit them to locomotives. That one was this one's actually earmarked for something that's due at some point. So, right.
So how do you know which end?
It's marked. Pin 1's marked, and pin 1 is always orange.
Is that in a multi-company standard, is it?
Yeah, it's the NMRA standard, and that essentially means that it will. Pin 1 is always orange. In fact, all the pins.
What's NMRA stand for?
National Model Railroad Association.
Right.
It's sort of like...
You've got to explain these things, because some of your audience won't know.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm just going to tuck these wires neatly in there. I see there's loads of comments coming in. Are you keeping an eye there, Covered Monkey?
Naive Gauge says, do Trainomatic do decoders that fit N-gauge locos? Are you cutting wires?
They do, yeah, because the wire, the purple wire, has been bared, so I cut the end off so it doesn't then have bare wire showing.
Okay, what's the purple wire for?
It's for an additional auxiliary function. You can sort of hot wire it in, and it's a cheeky little way of effectively getting an extra auxiliary function out of an 8-pin decoder.
Fair enough.
Right. Let me just try and read that decoder. And flashy, flashy, flashy.
That won't show up on this.
No. It's saying read. And it's straight to number 3. So there's nothing wrong with the locomotive. Program with address 6009.
Gronkston Model Railway says TTS is you get what you pay for, cheap and cheerful, nothing special. Personally, I wouldn't touch them with a barge pole and prefer ESU or Zemo sounds.
I know what you mean. Some of them I found more reliable than others. The Class 47 that's going around has the Hornby Class 47 TTS chip. But yeah, I think it's... Yes, sorry?
Why can I hear a buzzing?
I can't.
Put your ear to that. Can I hear a buzzing?
No. Oh, you're hearing the fan off the computer.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm just going to...
You were talking about TTS and Zemo and all that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very, very much you do get what you pay for, but there's also an element that...
You also get an elephant?
No, you can get like 3 of these for one of the more expensive ones.
All your screws? Are your screws loose?
I am missing a screw, yes.
Oh, that's not going to help, is it? Did you have a screw?
Yeah, I remember taking it out, and then I put it on the track, and it's...
And now you can't find it?
Disappeared! What, where? What?
Was that on it?
Yes! No, yes! I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
My ears might not work well, but my eyes do.
So between the two
Pam
of them...
Shackleton says, Hornby Castle TTS chips are known for failing, and a lot have been replaced.
It may be a Castle chip. That's a good point, actually, yes, because I think you're absolutely right. And that is the second Castle chip, then, that I have had fail. So that's an interesting point. Right, are we going to dare put this back on the track?
Yeah, why not?
Let's just
put it on somewhere that people can see, Jen.
Well, let's test it on here. So essentially, it's soaked up a spare ordinary chip. I must admit, I thought it had a sound chip in, and then when I pressed the button for the whistle, it didn't whistle. So I think this chip has had some issues for a while. Right, so yeah, there we go. That's working just fine, and you can see how much smoother the Trainomatic decoder is. It just it just purrs along. So that's really interesting.
Clive Cobbold says, Jenny, is there news of Rails Class 89 electric locomotive?
I've not been told anything, it has to be said, about that. Essentially, at the moment, there's no further news on that. I believe they're still at the expressions of interest. So if you do really, really want that model, then there should be a page where you can go and sort of say, yes, I'm really interested in this. But essentially, no further development on that.
Grongston Model Railway says it sounds like the Loco is pulling more amps than the TTS can handle, and it goes into meltdown.
I'm not sure what's going on.
We just don't know. That's the problem.
Gonads 1259. Good thing with DCC is if the chip goes faulty, you can change it. With DC, if the Loco goes faulty, you have a lot more work to do to correct it. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's one of those things that I've had that with DC Locos.
Will you film it here?
Yeah, I will actually. I've had locomotives where things have just mysteriously stopped working, and you'll have like a random short as usual, the popular one. I've got an A4 up there in Eleanor Garter Blue, and it just caused no end of trouble. And one day I thought, you know what, I'm going to sort this out. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with it. And what it would do, it would run for a bit, and then it would just short the layout out. Didn't blow the decoder, just short the layout out. And I traced it to a slightly bared wire somewhere in the pickups that was occasionally shorting against the chassis block. And that's all it was.
A few people have mentioned earlier on, what kind of DCC decoder thing are you using there, the handset?
The handset is a Gauge Master Prodigy Express, but the actual power to the layout is being provided by the DCC Concepts Alpha Power Booster. So essentially all the power is coming from the power booster, and all that the handset is doing is sending the command signals. There's no current draw on that. But the programming track is the programming track from the Gauge Master, is how it's all set up.
Okay, earlier on we were being asked, and I can't find the comment anymore, I've been looking. Have you considered doing a series of guides for newcomers to model railways?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Maybe I should. Covering the basics like track laying. We do have a video on ballasting. In fact, there's 2 videos on ballasting techniques. I've done a lot of videos on scenery. But yeah, maybe I should do one on track laying. We do have a video on coming up with a track plan. That's in my How to Build a Small Shunting Layout video series. So maybe what we should do is actually create a new playlist of how-to guides for beginners.
Yeah, we might add an extra video in there, here and there or something.
So that is a really good suggestion. Right, Cupboard Monkey, are you ready to...
No, because I'm finding the small shunting layout video.
Are you going to post a link?
Yes.
So what I need to do is, I need an 8-pin locomotive, preferably one that I can easily access the innards of. Now, the best bet is, I've got a Bachmann Class 24 here. The reason I'm picking this out is because these are ridiculously easy to get into. They're also an 8-pin chassis, which means I can actually plug that TTS in and just see what it does in another locomotive. It's definitely had time to cool down now, but I think that people's suggestion that the Castle TTS chips have a lot of issues is probably what's at the bottom of it. Because I've had a Castle decoder blow before, I believe actually. That's the one that blew live on air, if you guys remember that. And Hornby, very good at them, actually replaced it. Right, so let me just double check that. So at the moment in this, I've got, it's actually a very big chip. I don't know what chip that is.
You're looking at the circuit board, Jen.
No, that's the decoder there.
I was making a joke.
Ah, sorry, I thought it was maybe funny. Oh, that was very catty. I mean, meow, saucer of milk to table 1.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to bring up the first video, and it's actually the one that's been sent to us just now by Logan Clary.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure is a model railway one now. I'm having a look at it. But we'll see what's going on. It might be related. And it's decided that it's going to slow everything down. That's wonderful news, yes.
That's normal, isn't it? Right.
YouTube, where adverts play really quickly and nothing else does.
Yeah, funny that. Right, I'm going to plug this in
Okay, this is a TARDIS, and I think it's from this layout. So we're going to have a look at this. 4 and 7 TARDIS from Logan McClary. Actually, yes, I think that is.
It is actually, that works quite well. Is that great?
Oh, very nice.
Oh, nice.
That is very cool. That is fun as well. Very clever. That is good. Yes, I like that. That was fun. It's nice there when people can do some interesting stuff with their layouts. I don't like that you've only given me a tiny amount of space to work in here for my production. You know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not sorry at all.
Yeah, I am.
Thank you for submitting that, Logan. That was actually really good fun. So I'm going to jump.
So what else have we got coming in? And if you
in a
want to
moment,
send
I'm gonna...
in the links to your YouTube video, you need to send them to Zoe at zoerobinson.com. And that's Zoe spelled Z-O-E, the European spelling. Should I say the Greek spelling, because that's where the name comes from. What have we got?
Well, at the moment, I'm trying to get rid of something that's in... yeah, everything seems to be slowing down. That's really, really nice.
How strange.
Yes, so now we've got P-E... And don't know who this is. The new layout newbie.
Okay.
And there's a link to my first new build loft layout.
I always love to see see newcomers to the channel, and also layouts under construction as well. I always think it's great to be able to see just like how people do even just some of the basics.
Yeah. Welcome to this new YouTube channel. Right, so we are getting lighted at the ground floor here.
Nice, is that class 37?
If you don't
I do feel that I should get an HST.
Right, so this is what it's loft looks like. And it looks very much like the amount of space you've got, doesn't it?
Yeah, actually bigger. Quite bigger. Yeah, I like the woodwork. The woodworking is very impressive. So you're using the Celotech board off of it for durable furniture. It's a really great way of doing it. So, yeah.
That is actually rather nice.
Yeah, it looks, there's a
I'm
lot,
looking forward to seeing more of that.
lot of potential there. So,
Yeah. You've been looking at a lot of music, and
Oh,
YouTube's
I-
decided to suggest it.
yeah, I watch a lot, and not all of those are channels I watch. It's just going, we'll give you this as well.
Yeah, well, that's what YouTube does sometimes. Like, well, you've liked this, you might like this. And sometimes it's right. A lot of the time, not quite. Oh, apparently the audio's still on these.
Oh, right.
Oh, wonderful. Jen, why do you set things up for me to fail?
You fail happily all on your own.
Okay, Jeff Hammond has sent us one from Flint Hills Model Railway. So I'm going to load this up and I'm going to turn the audio off. Why it's coming through, I don't know. It shouldn't be. I thought I turned this off years ago, but
yeah,
right.
it's off.
Okay, I've turned it off. I really apologise, guys. I didn't realise it was running. So sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's on. It shouldn't have been. And it's like I've got it turned off on here on the sound desk. It shouldn't be coming through.
Yeah, that's YouTube going, no, you don't want to listen to that.
Yeah, I just don't get it. So we're gonna have. Oh, hang on. I've done the wrong thing. Sorry about that, guys. So we've got the next one coming up. Let's have a look at this. What we've got here. Well, Jeff Hammond at Flint Hills, and this is progress on his layout from second-hand loco purchases. So is that his layout, or is that a photo?
It could be a photographic back scene, actually.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ah,
I like the
really are.
lighting. There's a lot of platform lighting and some nice complex track work, actually. I do always like good, complicated track work. And the verdict, incidentally, if anybody's still following the TTS Castle Decoder saga, is it's FUBAR. And so I'm going to... What I might do is send that back to Hornby and say, look, just take a look at this.
Yeah, see what's wrong.
Because that's 2 that I've had. And it...
Oh, now we've got interesting... I assume that's some sort of DCC display he's got there on his little thing.
There'd be a DCC reverse loop as well across the middle. You see the track that goes across the middle?
Right.
They're actually quite complicated to wire up. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're interested to see that. I'd assume that you've managed to get that to work. Right.
Jeff Hammond says that it's a totally automated layout.
Interesting. I'm very intrigued. Right, so that's pointing out where the reverse loop is. So instantly I spot that. So
well, it's a line across the middle, Jen. Everyone spotted it.
No, I spotted it before it got the line across the middle. So essentially what you need for that is you need a reverse loop module, and you can buy them.
It's interesting that he's actually got his layout on that display.
Yeah, so that'll be the reverse module. And I'll be honest, I've never tried playing with these, but certainly I can see how useful they would be for some very interesting track
Schleifen module, is that?
I presume that's come from...
what it says, Schleifen model.
Yeah, Sleep module. Yeah, I don't know, my German's not good enough really, to be honest with you.
Oh, so now we find out. Oh my goodness, that is complicated. Wow, Jen, have a look at that.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
I like it. It's got different levels because the world, of course, is not flat.
Yeah,
which is always nice. But wow. It's a really complicated layout, this.
And I certainly, at the risk of sounding like James Petts, I approve of complicated layouts. I think that when you've got a lot of things going on, and I presume that you've got infrared detectors as well.
And his Star Trek style layout with flashy lights, I like that.
Well, I think a lot of that is, there's colour light signals there I can see, but I'm guessing you've got infrared detectors so that the control system actually knows where all the trains are.
Well, yeah, you'd have to, wouldn't you?
And then I presume as well you're using things like ABC modules, which again, really great way of controlling the flow of trains.
Let's try and jump it on a little bit and see the other side. Yes. Oh, that is very spiffy.
So I'm just...
Yeah, it is an interesting layout. I want to see more of this. Hopefully he'll come back with some more updates, because that would be nice. Have you dropped the
I've lost another screw.
Jenny Kirk. Always got a screw loose somewhere.
Yeah, I dropped a screw.
Yeah, well,
it's waffed over with my big super duper magnet. Whoa, that's weird. I can feel the pull on the track pins.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you keep going with that while I jump to the next video. Because that is really cool, but of course we can't see them all. If I stick on one video. You've really given me hardly any space to work with tonight, baby. She's terrible, you know. Thank you very much.
No.
I will. So, yes, thank you very much, Flint Hills. That's really good. And if I can get the machine to work, it's really not liking me tonight, this.
I don't know what's going on. We seem to be the kiss of death for electronics at the moment.
Yes.
Jeff Hammond Flint Hill says it's all done with DigiKey's current detection. Ah, right, so it can detect which section the locomotive is in by the current draw. Iraski says, I was looking at a large yard layout the other day and ran the numbers. Never run the numbers! Especially not if it's your own layout.
Oh my goodness, no, never do that.
Had almost $2,000 in turnouts. I can well believe it. If you bought them all brand new, there's probably not far short of that in terms of turnouts, double slips, things like that on this layout. But a lot of it has been built up over the years. I salvaged a lot from my previous layout. I bought a lot second-hand, and it's very few points that I bought brand new for this layout. And really, that's the best way to do it.
Okay, this is a different thing we've got now. James Petts has sent a video of his automated timetabled working model railway that's still under construction. So this should be interesting.
Yeah, that is very in-depth.
And this is not a YouTube link either. So let's hope this works.
A model railway under construction, representing at the scale of 1 to 148 the mainline station in the Thames Valley in the 1980s.
Wow.
Even now, before all the track is laid, and with the baseboard still covered in paper plans, the first fully timetabled and automated operations are taking place.
I've seen it done quite a lot. Sorry,
Model is controlled by a computer running model railway control software called Train Controller.
On screen?
The control panel of the software has been set up to represent as accurately as possible an integrated electronic control center, or IECC, of the sort introduced by British Rail in 1989. Underneath the baseboards are various electronics for powering the track, detecting the presence of trains, moving points, driving signals, and operating uncouplers. This technology allows the computer to control every aspect of the layout and know what is happening on the layout at any given time, essential for automatic operation. Part of the layout on which timetable services have been inaugurated is the part representing the branch line, shown to the lower right-hand side of the track diagram and heading into the bay platform at the station.
Apparently the sound is on. It's a different thing.
Right.
I am so sorry, guys. We don't do this on purpose.
Donuts 1259.
We don't know why it's coming through, and I can't work it out. My biggest issue is we don't hear it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is unless I put on my silly pink earphones, we don't actually hear anything fed back. Otherwise, you get a feedback loop through the microphone. So unfortunately, we have to try and remember to look at the actual chat room to work out what's going on.
So nothing comes.
Really,
we turn
really
off the sound. This is why normally we only go for YouTube, because that way we know it's already turned off. Except for tonight when it turned itself back on.
Gwen Reese Davies says, "R.I.P. headphone users." Yes. Tonight's video is sponsored by Billy's Replacement Speakers.
I am so sorry, guys. We don't do it on purpose. It really is just.
Yeah. Melchester Model Railway says, "In Weir Yard, nobody can hear you scream."
So sorry. So what we're asking for the guy who sent this in? What program is this that is on screen at the moment? Because I'd love to know. It would be fascinating to see whether we could work something up for the little underground diorama style that we're trying to do for the layout.
I'm guessing though, without the sound, it's just one picture on screen because you're not hearing the.
So I'm going to jump back to the main show.
But thank you very much for sharing that. That is very interesting.
It's fascinating. It's the first time we've gone for that video site as well.
And I have to say, you are a very daring individual. Clearly, you know your way around electronics to be able to do something with that, because that is quite intense stuff.
James Pett says it's train controller with lots of customization.
I can imagine. If you're into electronics, it's a great way to go. I'm a bit of a techno Luddite. I can just about stick decoders.
Yeah, she's an intergalactic techno weenie.
Techno weenie, is that an approved term?
It's a reference from Hackers.
Techno weenie.
Okay, Bernard Walker has sent Crossways Point Junction, but it's an attachment. I can't play it because it will completely destroy our ability to run it.
0 bytes in size, which means that basically
we can't
it's
do
broken
it as
the
well.
email. So very, very sorry about that. Hythe Kent says too loud.
We've got a video of a home desktop cockpit video.
Apparently we're coming through too loud.
No, we were. So we could disable the desktop audio in OBS. We have. That's the thing that I can't work out. We've disabled everything and it's still coming through. I don't know how we've wired it up. We must have something coming in on the second channel.
I don't know. don't fiddle with things right now. Just leave it be. Leave it be.
That's why.
What?
We've still got the... I've just noticed when we've looked at it...
The regular sound seems okay.
Yeah, the normal sound. I'll tell you what exactly it is. Last time we interviewed someone, we've left the cable in the sound deck.
So which one is that? This one?
You notice that it's turned on entirely off? It's still coming through regardless.
Which one is that?
Don't touch any of them. It's on there, and that's how it's doing it. We've got to work that out, and we've got to sort it.
Is it that one?
Jen, don't... Please just you're gonna make me go mental here. We don't know why it's coming through, but yeah, it's an issue. Sorry about that, guys. So let's try and have a look.
James Pett says Train Controller and iTrain both have their advantages and disadvantages. iTrain has better user interface. Train Controller is more programmable and customizable.
So you pay your money and take your choice.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think in time I might get more adventurous. This is my first ever DCC layout, believe it or not. So I think I've got my big girl pants on where I've done this. I've kind of small steps.
Okay, we've had a few sent in while we've been on, so now we've got one from Jackie, which says running session from
my husband's layout, Wild Bank Colliery. Okay, let's...
I'll bring that up, and hopefully it's not going to decide to turn the sound back on. No, it hasn't.
No, the sound is off,
yeah.
So this is from Jackie.
Okay, I'm going to bring that up on screen now. Bling, bling. Oh my goodness, Jen, look at that background.
Oh, I do
love... That
love...
is wonderful.
Now, don't get me wrong, I love what Les has done up here with the background, but a photographic background like that really does
when it's done properly,
brilliant.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and like that, and I like the way it's kind of muted, slightly out of focus in the distance, like real things are. So that is really nicely done. I love your scenery in the foreground as well. You've got that kind of rough, unkempt grass. And I like your fence as well.
It looks great. It's almost... it's a silly thing to say, but it looks real.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're going for.
I know.
I recognise your yard lamps as well. I've got some of them on Grove Street Yard.
I recognise some of those walls at the back as well. That's the stone effect above those walls looks real.
Is that on the back scene, or is that actual terrain?
I think it's actual terrain, because...
Yeah.
It's being held back by that
really
wall.
Nice.
It's a brilliant display.
Yeah. James Pett says the back scene has a slight blue haze look, which works really well.
Yes.
So Hardy Hat says I love that layout. Yeah. I mean that. Oh, I do like this. This is a really nice layout. Clearly still under construction, but really nice.
And what they were saying about the blue haze, that's the key.
Yeah.
Because as the further you go away from where you are, the more blue haze you have.
Yeah. I like the rough ground, the demarcation between that and the uber clean ballast, which obviously in GWR days they were probably a bit more on the case with track maintenance in terms of like pulling the weeds out and stuff. Also, I think they used things which are now illegal as well to kill weeds.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Mermaid ballast wagons, they look like.
Oh, that is very nice. You don't put a lot of stuff in your wagons, do you?
Not a huge amount. I'm actually really loving this layout. It's just such a pleasure to watch the trains running. And like the attention to detail, things like the concrete trunking runs, and just the general bits and pieces, and the the AWS warning
And again,
ramps.
it's going slow. It's not racing around. Then one goes and races.
This is really nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying this layout. This is really good. Patricia Cotterill says, wow, very nice. Leslie Gilpin says, does look great. Kelly Ashford says, great Western theme going on. Flymo Chairman 1, thank you very much for posting up some links there as well.
So we're going to jump back to
nice layout. Shanghai 264359, superb layout.
It is. It's really lovely.
And Jackie says it's Mark at Wildbank Colliery. I forgot to say.
Right. Sorry. Okay.
Right. Hive Kent says volume's good now.
Yeah. Really, really sorry about.
Yeah, I can only apologise. It was technical gremlins.
Yeah, I don't do it on purpose. I don't do it because I think it's funny or anything like that.
James Pett says, look for my channel on Diode Zone brackets PeerTube if you're interested. Certainly, yeah, that's definitely one to search out. George Botterini says, very nice. And, about all the videos there are Creative Commons. J. Paul Anderson says, beautiful layout. Certainly was. So...
we've now been sent one from Gronkston Model Railway. I'm just looking for one that we can show.
Oh, you're going there, yeah.
Yeah, this. I don't know what the Train Sim World. Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. Is that the one that you were playing?
Yes, it is. So.
I'm very interested to see this. Anybody's wondered when we've talked briefly about Train Sim World and may have wondered.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that up now.
I am quite interested about this because when you look at this, this is a computer game. So you can wander around and this is what it looks like in game.
He's not doing it right. All those trains have their handbrakes on.
Yeah, you did that at Leeds Station.
And it just ran.
And I said to you, that's our train. No, it isn't. How can it be leaving the station? I'm not on it. And it's like, no, you haven't put the handbrake on. So you can see
the level of detail on it is amazing. Yeah. I actually loved playing about with it.
Are you not still playing it?
No, I've been playing The Division, also known as Pandemic Simulator.
But have you played this much?
Not a lot recently, so we should have a look. It's very nice, and it's like this is it. It's not where you just get in and you press a button and you drive. You have to actually use all of the levers and do it right, and it's so well done. But I don't want to just spend too long on this because it's a model thing rather than a train simulator. But I think we should have a live stream of it sometime.
Tom Wilmot says, I have a Gagemaster Prodigy Advance 2 to run my trains. It seems a reasonable controller, actually. I'm quite happy with the Gagemaster stuff.
Yeah, it seems pretty
also
good. So thank you for that, Grongston. That was good.
Yeah, really I did enjoy that, actually. Train Sim World is certainly worth a look at.
Is that what we're doing tonight with pizza? Pizza and Train Sim World.
Oh, we're not having pizza. Not a big
229 likes.
We have to get 400 concurrent viewers and 400 likes before I will allow pizza. I'm sorry.
Okay, that is the last of the links.
Yeah, sorry, Tom Wilmot. It's one of those things that, as I said before, if I haven't answered, it's not that I'm ignoring you, just because the comments come in so quick and I get sidetracked with stuff like errant TTS decoders.
So we're going to have one more video because there is one that we mentioned earlier, isn't there?
Leon Rees Daly says, much prefer Train Simulator over Train Sim World because he develops products for it. Very interesting.
Nice.
The Taff Vale Railway with Dave Williams. Good evening all. Hoping to make a start on the Merthyr Central layout this week. Brand new OA gauge layout. A whopping 12 foot by 9 foot station yard. Brilliant. Don Gates Model Railway. Okay, that was surreal. That's my day job. Yeah, and it's what I always say because I've got a truck driving license. So when she was doing, was it Euro Truck Simulator? It's like, why would I want to sit there and do something that I'm not getting paid for, that I would normally say paid for?
Okay, I'm trying to find that. How do you spell Festiniog?
Double F-E-S-T-I-N-I-O-G, I think. Gronkston Model Railway says, I have 16 large pizzas here in the freezer. Of course, you'll have to travel to Devon to taste one. Bit of a trip. They might be cold by the
Give
time
me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't find it. The video of Spiral.
I think it's down as riding the Schilft loop or something, or the Schilft spiral, and it's on my channel.
That might be why I can't find it. Okay, you just keep talking and going through the stuff. I'll find it eventually. It's not coming up. It really isn't.
Oh yeah, we've seen the people playing Flight Sim as well. Yeah, Sparky 107, you called it. 303 concurrent, 235 likes. Don't think Zoe is getting a pizza tonight.
Yeah, Jenny
Although
doesn't.
Last week after the stream, somebody says, "Oh, I should have said I'd have had one delivered to your house." I'm not quite sure how that works. Can you actually do that?
Yes, you can. We can't find the Festiniog spiral, and there are videos of it on YouTube, but because no one's given us permission to show them, the last thing I want to do is infringe someone's copyright.
Style. It's one that I've struggled to get my tongue around that. I think double D is pronounced as a th sound, and double L is pronounced as a sound. So it's and the AU would be an I sound, would it be? Thiles. It's a difficult one actually for a native
Apparently it
English.
is, you can't speak it.
Sorry, what? No, I'm just curious if anybody knows the correct pronunciation. Melchester Model Railway, you're really rubbing it in now. The Pizza Express will not be stopping at Weir Yard. And Kelly Ashford says, overtime again, Jenny's streams never finish on time. Garthian says, pronounced
Found it.
Theacht. Richard Swiderski says, Jen, did you review the Hornby Collectors Club Terrier and the club? I've done a review on the Collectors Club Terrier, not the club itself. I want to do a comparison between all three major collectors clubs, but I haven't actually got membership yet of the Batman one or the Daypole one. I've got the Hornby one. Yeah, that's the one. You found it.
It's on my channel, Gamehammer.
And bear in mind, this was filmed with a BlackBerry back in the day when a BlackBerry was like the cutting edge of
No, it
technology.
wasn't. This was filmed on a digital Cinecam.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so, right,
the
bear
kind of
in
thing
mind,
you can't
kids,
even get now.
This is how rubbish YouTube looked in 2005. So this is us on our honeymoon. I think so. So this is like 12 years ago.
Yeah, this was filmed on the kind of camera that you would be able to get reasonably cheaply when YouTube started.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, YouTube wasn't the high fidelity thing always. David Scott, good night, folks. Great stream as usual and great company. Thanks very much. Great to have you aboard. And I'm always ever so touched that people do take time to spend their Monday nights with us. And it's not quite gone as planned, really. We've been derailed a little bit by the TTS decoder popping, although it's not gone full pop. And I think that's because we've got the DCC concepts throttle, the DCC bus chokes fitted to the layout, which stops that super spike that just knocks everything out. But certainly it's decided to stop working, and we saw the King class suddenly sped up. And that is something to look out for. With
how close you could get to that. You could reach out and touch the scenery.
Yeah, literally, actually, I think you could actually lean out the window.
And take your head off on a rock.
Gary Lewis says, hi Jenny and Zoe, you may need to stock up on pizza if Bolton goes into local lockdown.
We're already in local lockdown.
Oh, I'm afraid we are, yeah. So, unfortunately, we haven't had the views or the likes because I set it really, really high.
You did it on purpose. You set it unreasonably high so that I couldn't have a pizza.
We would have had a mega record view. If we get a view spike now, it'll be like yeah,
it's not going to happen. 238 likes.
It's interesting, actually. I think those sidings on the left may have been lifted now. I'm sure I read somewhere.
Wow, so this is a record of the past.
Yeah. The first time I went to Thialf station, I need a native Welsh speaker to decipher that one. I might ask my mother, actually.
There you go. What do you think of that?
The first time I actually ever went there, the track was still partially in place to Tunnel Holt. And that's when I first went to the Festiniog Railway. And I think that Tanagrizau was the limit line. You couldn't get all the way to Blenheim Festiniog. And they just opened up. I think it was something like 1982, 1983. So the track, they were taking it up to Tunnel Holt and Mowell Tunnel, but it hadn't. So you could still see all the sleepers all the way up, and there was still a point and some track in place on the old route. That's how long ago I actually first went there.
My goodness.
Right. Barry Turner says, I still use my BlackBerry. Another enjoyable show. Keep safe. Night to you both. James Pett, I approve of records of the past.
So does Jenny. She's got a large collection of them and she plays them at high volume.
We're going to have to start rounding up. Tim Wilmot says, my layout is based on the West Coast mainline. Modern imaging is called Cruton. So certainly, if you want to send any videos on YouTube, don't attach your video as an attachment. It won't get used because it just breaks the email system. But send us a link to your actual video.
Oh my goodness. March West Junction TMD says, hi Jenny, you've been watching this in the background as I've not been well. I'm watching this from my hospital bed.
Oh, I'm
my
really
goodness,
sorry
get
to
well
hear.
soon.
Look, you take great care of yourself and do get well soon and let us know how you go. Sorry to hear that you're not feeling well, but hopefully you're getting better. And the fact that you're able to listen to us from your hospital bed is a good sign, but wishing you a speedy recovery.
Okay, right. Guys, I'm going to drag Jen off and try and cajole her into letting me have a pizza. Or maybe an Indian takeaway. It's been a while since we had an Indian takeaway.
We can have a fried egg sandwich maybe, but not a pizza or a takeaway.
We'll see. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming along. It's been great to spend the night with you all. Ooh, and I hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have. Jen, do you want to say last few comments?
Yeah, I have to say it's been great having your company. Don't forget to like this button, like this video, tickle that like button, and share on Facebook, social media, all that kind of stuff. And really look forward to seeing you again next time. Don't forget to sorry, my mouth has become quite encrypted. I think.
Has your tongue been encrypted before you lost root?
Unfortunately so. So don't forget to check us out again next week when Monday Club will be back at 7 o'clock UK time. And in the meantime, on Wednesday, we've got a full-on review of the all-new Bachmann Class 24-1. And you'll be able to see just what I thought of this locomotive hiding just in shot over here. I've done a full review on that. We've also got coming up my full review on the Brighton Works Terrier from Hornby. And I mean, it's a complete Terrier fest because we've also got sound-fitted Terrier from Rails of Sheffield. And this coming Thursday, we've got the Stopfold Barn visit, which will be, we're going to be filming that for the channel. So look out for that as well. And
we have one final question from TRMN311. Do you have a link to the manufacturer who makes Locomotive custom nameplates?
It's 247 Developments. I think Brian Moser was in the chat earlier on. I don't know if he's still there. But the website is, if you do a Google search for 247 Developments, and that's all one word. I think it's 247developments.co.uk. They do the nameplates, and of course, tell them I sent you. But until next time, look, you guys take
Jeff Hammond as a final joke. Are we having fish and fried decoder chips for tea? Take care, guys. Thanks for coming.
Okay, look, you take care as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut to just a video of the trains going by. So we will still be here, but the reason for this is because we've noticed that the stream seems to cut off like a last 20 seconds or so. So I've already finished, but there's like this kind of delay going on. So basically, you all take great care of yourself, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Night night.